Seattle. So today's Saturday, 2nd of March, and we just arrived yesterday. It was a long day of travel. Behind me you can see it's our apartment. Yesterday arrived around midday, checked in, had a light meal, and then just had some rest. And I feel like this time probably will be much easier adjustment to a time zone change. I think the secret is really coming in and then staying as late as you can, but then having a lot of rest, and the next day you are fresh and ready. We'll see, at least I hope so. This time we came to Seattle and not California because we have quite a lot of stuff here, and the car is actually here. So Kevin's family is based off, near Seattle, and we're gonna go visit them during this stay. He also lived here before we moved to Europe. And so we've got a storage unit with a lot of stuff there, and like one of the things we actually looking forward to bringing in today in the apartment, and it's a coffee machine. So this is like our pride possession. But apart from that, we have a lot of things we need to kind of triage and figure out what we do with them. Some of it will come to Europe with us, some of it we'll get rid of. And apart from that, we just gonna enjoy the city a little bit. The weather is really nice. I mean, it's cold, but it's quite clear, blue sky, and it's beautiful. So we came to Whole Foods. It's my favorite grocery store in the US. They have so many cool candles. I found those that are much better designed, and this one actually smells really nice. So that's the one I'm taking. I like protein bars, and they have a lot of mint flavors. I saw this one, it has egg whites. I've never, like in Europe we don't have this. So
let's try that one.
Okay, I wanted to get the pasta and the sauce. This is my favorite section. It's cooked soups, they're all great. We just had this little bet going on in terms of how much the check is gonna be from Whole Foods. I love this shop. They have amazing selection, but it's always
expensive.
I think we never shop for under 100 on the trip. Yeah. Anyway, so we had the bet how much is it gonna be in total before starting like counting. And I won! I said 200, it was 193. Evan said 250, and then the guy at the counter said
150.
150, yeah. So I was the closest. I didn't win
Although
anything
he
though.
offered to not scan things for us to win.
Oh, I missed this part. Well, so this was nice. But anyway, yeah, and we like the tip I can give you, the practical tip is is it with Amazon Prime that you get a discount? Yeah. So because Amazon bought them, with Amazon Prime, you actually get 5% back, right?
You have to have the Amazon credit card as well.
Oh,
so, I mean, yes, you Prime member, but if you have the Amazon credit card and you buy anything at Whole Foods, you get 5%.
Okay, well, so this is a practical tip for you. If you, like us, like to shop in Whole Foods.
You're still overpaying.
Yeah.
But you're overpaying 5% less.
Exactly. Okay, so we're done with the groceries, and actually, I kind of love the storage in this kitchen. So they have like this whole pantry section, which is pretty big, and like we didn't even use the bottom yet. And like this is the first time I see the fridge with 2 doors. It seemed kind of funny at first, but it's actually pretty convenient. And the thing about American fridges, Kate and American stuff that she doesn't see in Europe. So this door design is not typical. Like in Europe, you would usually have very like little space on the door, and it's very flat. And I try not to put like heavy stuff on the door because I think it will like make it break. But apparently here you can like load it with bottles and stuff, you know.
There.
So off to unpack the boxes. Okay, it's time for the coffee machine unpacking. So the coffee machine we have is actually super cool. It comes in the suitcase, and so it's done also so that you can ship it back, right?
Because for repairs if you need to.
Yeah, so if you need to ship it for repairs or whatever. And so supposedly we can actually like check it in if we wanted to bring it to Paris, but we decided not to initially because it's like US electrical. So now it's the moment of truth to see if it's actually still working after 2 years of sleep. salad pizza to the side. We just sort of finished unpacking for today, I'd say. We took like 5 boxes, most of it is kitchen stuff, and we kind of offloaded everything. And I've realized it was a rather challenging task for the first day with the jet lag. And we still have some stuff to do, and like the big thing for tomorrow, I think we've been packing the MacBook. But yeah, the more we settle in to the apartment, I've realized that it's actually very nice and comfortable. And they've done a good job furnishing it too. So the bed was really nice, and then the couch, and then this chair, and behind me you can see the table. So one of the things I wanted to move is to put this table right over here, because this is basically the view that you're working with, which I think is quite nice. We brought iMac from the storage. So we brought this from the storage, and I think it will look really nice if we put it right by the window. This is a task for tomorrow. And today we're just gonna chill and maybe do one more run to a grocery shop just to buy some of the items we forgot. And one of the things actually is the matches, because we got the candle, which is super nice, and it matches the pillows behind me. Morning, it's Sunday, and we are driving back to storage, getting some of the boxes back into storage now, like empty ones. And then we still didn't find our coffee stamper, so either we have one in some other boxes or we're just gonna go get a new one. So these are the 2 main tasks for today. So they didn't have things we needed. They had a selection, but for the scale they didn't have the white color, and then for the knock box they were all kind of not just right. So we're gonna do the storage check, and then, well, if we have a stamper I think we can manage. Still the adventure continues of making all of the missing, like finding missing parts to make the machine work. This is my first time eating dumplings like this, and they actually give you instructions. You put it into the spoon, I have plenty already, and you take a dumpling and you break it into good. So we came to Home Depot because we couldn't find the tools in Target, and actually stayed on the parking lot to enjoy these apple trees. They look like cherry blossoms from afar, but it's kind of the only thing that they tell you it's spring month, so we're in March and it's like freezing cold. So, but they have apple trees, which is really nice. But yeah, it's kind of a nice surprise to have this pretty parking lot. Good morning. I woke up much earlier than I usually do. Luckily we have a coffee machine. Today's going to be a bit challenging because we don't have all the tools. So yesterday I tried sort of improvising of how to stamp a coffee without a temper. So we'll see how it will go this morning. So we're on Monday, and it's second half of the day, so it's an afternoon, and it's sort of a first day when I'm trying to figure out the good routine. And I would say it was sort of a fail so far because I stayed at home most of the time, and I'm trying to see what could be a good alternative for tomorrow. Yeah, so one thing I wish to say that in my 35 years old, I still don't know how to drive well. I passed my driving license quite a while ago, so I think it's been 12 years ago, and then I never driven since. And I think for maybe an American person it sounds very limiting, which it is, but in Europe you can actually navigate most of the time without having to drive, and specifically in Paris it's actually inconvenient to drive, so it might be more complicated to navigate with a car than by public transportation or by foot, which is mostly what I do. But in the US it's way more complicated. It's colder than I anticipated, so I took a jacket, but it's sort of a short jacket, and in Seattle it's about the same temperature as Paris, but it's way more humid. So in about an hour we'll drive to a store and try to find a jacket that is a little longer so that I can be a little better equipped to walk around. We came to Nordstrom Rack, which is the clearance department, I guess. And yeah, they have like a super small section of the jackets. Okay, store number 2 is called REI. It's really sunny today again, and so I decided not to repeat my mistakes from yesterday and just try to get out. And we actually managed to find a jacket yesterday, so my walk is going to be much more comfortable and less freezing. So I'll see you at Starbucks. I got out of the apartment and actually almost feel like I didn't need that warm of a jacket because it's super sunny. And I mean, it's obviously a little fresh, but it's not cold. So I'm walking now towards the water. It's about 30 minutes and it's a nice walk. Special drinks on this vacation?
Yeah, I have a cookie butter latte. I can make it hot or ice.
Do you have non-sweet drinks?
Unfortunately not.
Well, I'll get a classic latte.
If you'd like, I can make it with a reserve roast that's only at this store.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Is it something you also sell here?
Yeah, it's $10.95.
Okay. After the Starbucks, I decided to explore the famous Pike Place Market a little bit, and this place is really cool. They have a lot of fresh produce, flowers, and a bunch of souvenirs that you can buy in different stalls. Some of the famous places you also should check out is the Storyville coffee shop with a beautiful view. And as for lunch, I chose Crumpets Pie shop. First of all, I love crumpets, and it also was one of the few places where you can actually sit down and have a meal. And the one I got was actually very tasty. So this is another recommendation for a quick meal at a Pike Place Market. It's a sunny day and actually I'm positively surprised by the number of sunny days in Seattle. Last time I came was in November and I stayed for December, and so now we're in March. And Seattle is famous for being gray and rainy, and so for the past week I think I had more sun than rain. Actually, it only rained, like stayed gray for one day, and the rest was really sunny. So I'm now heading to buy some groceries and test a coffee shop that is nearby, and it's called Coven. It looked really nice on pictures, so let's see how it is in reality. So the entrance to the coffee shop is just behind me. It's actually inside of the grocery store that is called QFC. It's one of the pricier ones, but it's also like the QFC stands for Quality Food Centers, and I can tell that it's definitely better than a regular store. And we tend to shop in QFC, Whole Foods, and PPC, and those are kind of at the higher end in terms of prices, but they also have better quality. And shifting from the US to Europe, you can actually see a drop in quality when you just go to regular supermarkets, and you can see a drastic jump in price when you try to find the same quality. But anyway, today I'm here to try the coffee shop, so let's go. grocery slash coffee shop trip. I actually didn't find what I was looking for, so I went to KFC to find some rose water. Yeah, I ended up buying just some basics. So, like yogurt. I bought this kind of bread, and when I looked at the ingredients, it seemed like it doesn't have any bad stuff, and it's good for like just doing the avocado toasts, oatmeal. And this is actually a struggle to find unsweetened, unflavored, just like plain oatmeal. Oh, this is from the coffee shop. I've got a slice of, it was called, I think it was a pumpkin bread. Coffee was really disappointing, so I'm not recommended this place, and it wasn't cozy either. The reason I decided to go there is like when I looked at Google Maps, it was pretty nice, and like they had this beautiful cups of coffee and some of the dishes looked nice, but in reality it's a little different. The boxes I just got are all Amazon deliveries, and majority of it are the sweaters. So I ordered a bunch because when I ordered them a few days ago, it was actually cold. Now it's kind of warm. I didn't even need my big jacket going out, and like I had to wear sunglasses. So still gonna try them on and see if any of them fit. Next one is just a hoodie, but it has this sort of buttons, and I don't have like simple black hoodies. Oh, this one seems nice. I think this one I'm gonna keep. And the last one is sort of a hoodie. Yeah, it seems like it's kind of big, like oversized, but it's like, you know, it's just comfy and it's good for the house.